Okay, Jeff, I'm gonna go ahead and start. Okay, so are you ready? Did we lost him?
Looks like he lost audio. Oh, there he should be back now.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hey, Jeff.
Yep.
I'm ready to start. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my introduction here, and I'm going through a couple slides, and then you can go ahead and jump in after I'm done. Okay?
Hey ho, let's go.
All right. Well, guys, welcome to our Florida PowerShell User Group session, and today's we have Jeff Wouters from is a PowerShell MVP. Yay, he joined us, and his session will be a PowerShell Active Directory health check. He's gonna demonstrate some PowerShell goodies from his side, and this is gonna be great. I'll be your host for the night, and hopefully you enjoy this session. Thanks to all our user group sponsors, and you normally know already by now, Sapiens, Pluralsight, Conducive, Rally. This is all powered by Office 365. Here's my contact information. Although you know we have regular users here, so you know how to get me here. You're all welcome. User group meeting every Thursday of the month, 6:30. Start session at 7. Free to welcome us anytime. And of course, I'm a Sapiens Technologies believer. I believe in their products. I use them all the time. Try them out. Don't forget, I have a Microsoft Virtual Academy community. Join them. Just recently this week, they have the Windows Azure Infrastructure as a Service Jumpstart, which was great. Especially they had a session on SMA, Server Management Automation. And it was good information. They talk about workflows, runbooks, and how to use SMA to run your PowerShell scripts. So that was good. Check them out when the version comes out, when the videos comes out. Also, keep in mind that when you go through their Microsoft Virtual Academy jump starts and or different video sessions, training sessions, they do offer certificate of completion, which is not bad to have when you're tied up with your resume. And I'm gonna give this a grand applause to Mr. Jeff Wouters. So that, go ahead, Jeff, take command. It's all yours.
Okay, then let's request control. Well, good evening to all, or good morning, depending on where you are on the planet. My name is Jeff Wouters. I'm from the Netherlands, Windows PowerShell MVP. And Max asked me some time ago if I wanted to present. And I've been working for more than a year now on an Active Directory health check script. So that's what I want to share. A little bit about me. I'm a freelance consultant, trainer, author, got my own company, and I'm technically the founder of the Dutch PowerShell User Group. But what I always say, I just started the thing, and the members, they do everything. So why would I want to create a health check script for an Active Directory? Well, when I come in at customers, they have problems with the Active Directory, most of them. And why? Well, the main cause can all be brought down to one thing: negligence. And when you visualize it, this is how they use their Active Directory. And then they say, it's not my fault. And I'm like, oh no. But then the problem they point fingers. It's not their fault, but it's probably somebody else's fault. And yeah, sometimes one hand palm isn't enough, so yeah, you do multiple. So for the script, I want to shout out a few thanks to my customers, my fellow Wouters PowerShell MVPs, because when I just became an MVP, I joined the mail list, and ever since from that point, I learned so much from them, which helped me in creating the script. The Dutch and the worldwide PowerShell community, because also I have questions, and sometimes MVPs respond faster, sometimes the community responds faster. Oh, and my fish. I'm crazy about my fish. So a special thanks to Carl Webster and Ian Brighton. Ian is a guy from the UK. He is mostly responsible for the Word file generation code in the script. Ian and Carl have put up a Word template script, which allows you to use their generic code and paste your specific code in between. So use their generic code to create the Word document with a cover page, with a table of contents, chapters, the works. And Carl started it, Ian improved it, I'm improving, giving tips where I can, and testing it. And in total, there is a whole bunch of PowerShellians from the entire world have gathered around those two. Because all of us are right now using their code to generate a Word or PDF file. So you can see the accidental Citrix admin. That's Carl. Well, these days, if you look for Citrix documentation scripts, you'll find Carl has a few, and that's an understatement. So I kind of think that Citrix has to be removed. That's it's PowerShell these days. So for my script, there are 5 fundamental guidelines I wanted to always follow. First, every check I'm doing has to work for all domains in a forest. So if you've got a forest with 20 domains and my script is run on one of those domains and that account has the permissions to query LDAP in the other domains in the forest, then my script will work for all those domains. It works with PowerShell v3 or above. Why not v2? My scripts, my checks will work with PowerShell version 2. That's not a problem. But for the word generation, we decided we wanted functionalities that only v3 offers. So that's why v3 is a requirement. It works without administrator permissions. So this I found very beautiful. You will be amazed what you can query through LDAP to your Active Directory as a plain old user. No admin permissions, no special privileges or whatsoever. It also works without the Active Directory PowerShell module because I'm using LDAP queries. I basically written some sort of my own functions that do a little bit similar functionality like the commandlets from the AD module, but the AD module is a lot more of error handling, reflection in there. So I'm not competing with it in any way because first of all I didn't. That's a result actually. Not having to use the AD module is a result. My goal was performance. So I'll get back to that at the end of the presentation, but there's a huge difference in this case in writing my own functions instead of using the AD module. And the script needs Word, in this case Word 2007 or above, to generate a Word file or a PDF file. So this is a portion of the list of checks that are currently offered by my script. So as you can see, I'm checking for things that I consider to be not a best practice. So if you have disabled users, maybe that is your, in your company, maybe it's your procedure to disable an account before you delete them. It may be a very solid reason, but I'm still checking it. So for your specific customer or environment, you may have to comment out a few of the checks. But anyone that has some basic PowerShell knowledge will be able to comment them out. That's not a problem. This is the next portion of the list, and these checks are all the checks I'm currently doing. I used to have more, but as I shown you before, one of the rules was the checks have to perform for all the domains in the forest. The actual list before was like double of this size, but I found that a few of the checks, the way I've written them, at that point didn't work across all the domains, or not in all situations. So I removed those currently from the script. And for the next version of the script, I want to include those checks again. So step by step they will be included, and I'm not making any promises on when. For example, currently I'm working on checking if Active Directory trusts have become obsolete, are still working properly, if the net logon has issues, more of the real troubleshooting checks instead of checking for content configuration issues, something that may have become issues. My previous customer had a lot of sites in Active Directory, and we found that by checking this, we had 42 subnets that were available in Active Directory, but were not assigned to any sites. So by not implementing this, any computer in that site will start looking will start communicating with Active Directory in the not most optimal way. So that's something you may have to keep in mind. So finally, demo time. What I have is two domain controllers, Mythos DC2 and Mythos DC1. And I've got server 01, that's basically my management server, with the script on there. So as you can see, only the script and a directory alt. So you go to the location where the script is. You type the script, and in case you want some assistance, get help. These are the parameters offered by the script. I've got two parameter sets. One is for all, as in the script performs all the checks, because I've grouped the checks by what sort of check it is. By using the groups parameter instead of all, you check only for the groups checks.
Hey Jeff, could I interrupt for just one moment?
Yeah, sure.
Can you increase the font size on your DOS, your PowerShell window, so we can see it a little bit better?
Not a problem.
Thank you.
It's a biggie. This better?
Much better, thanks.
Okay. So what you can do is choose the groups parameter, but also organizational units, and also users, but not computers and sites, for example. And in case you want examples, oh, this one hasn't got examples in there, sorry. In the one that will be posted online later in the session, there will be examples in there on how you can use it. So, getting back to the script. As you can see, the multiple parameters. If you choose the visible parameter, which is a switch, so you only have to define the parameter, not give it a value, it will show Word while generating the file. So if you do not select this parameter, it will run in the background. For now, for demo purposes, I'm showing it. I'm creating a Word file. Let's see what else is possible. Oh, username is Max. Company name is Florida PowerShell User Group. And instead of all the checks, because that will take some time, I'm checking for the organizational units. Ready, steady, go. As you can see, I'm using verbose output without selecting the verbose parameter. We've chosen to enable it by default because in Carl's experience there were a lot of issues with people that are that have reported, hey, something isn't working, and Carl wants this output, the verbose output. He wants to see where in the document, where in the script is it going wrong. So let's take a look. Oh, nothing is wrong with organizational units. So I'm defining sites, management page at the end. I'll show you. Correction. Users, management page, CSV files, and I want a log file. Whoop. Something you have to watch out for. If you rerun the script, it will overwrite all the files that if they are already in this location. But you can also see I've chosen to generate files at the location where the script is. So let's take a look. Users direct member of domain local group. It's opening domain, the domain name, the group name, and the username. In this case, it is as designed because this account is supposed to be a member of this group. That's the design of the Active Directory. So one of the things I kind of want to do is remove those results from the results written to the documents. It is on my to-do list, but for now, people will have to use common sense. Because the intention of my script is to give you assistance and not something you can use to automate your Active Directory cleanup. That was actually one of my customers that requested this, but I refused to, because I always, in these cases, I want something either some human intervention in between, the possibility for it at least, or you will have to extremely well know your environment. And for me as a consultant, and I get at customers, different customers too much, for me that's just too much of a risk. Let's see. It's finished. There we go. As you can see, domain, username, all these users have the password not required. That's actually an option to configure in your Active Directory, password not required. So when I check this at my current customer, I reported this, I showed it to security, and they were like, wow, the users will probably have a password, right? So I've written a script to try log on with the user account without a password, and 46 user accounts were automatically logged on. So user accounts without a password. 2 of those were application administrators. It was their user account, not their admin account, but still not something you want to have as from a security perspective. So this is a check my current manager. This is a page my current manager requested. A management page with basically a table with the name of the text and the number of results. Well, as you can see, I scripted this environment, so these values are very surprisingly exactly the same, because I created about 3190 user accounts with a single line of code. Ta-da. So for each check, a separate CSV file is written. As you can see, the output over here is written verbosely to the screen. I'm using the PowerShell transcript functionality to write this verbose output, actually all the output, even if there are errors in there, to a text file. For me, it was extremely important because a few of my testers, all they have to do now is, instead of copy pasting this entire output and etc., all they have to do is give me this file. Maybe they want to anonymize a little bit of the data, like the company name out of there or something like that. That's not a problem. What I want is the error message. I want the fully qualified error IDs. I want the line and the number where it's going wrong, etc. And it made my life and the life of my testers very easy. So my bad. Whoopa. So for now, I will start generating all the checks. Not visibly. That makes it a little bit faster. And then I'll go back to my slides, because this will take a few minutes. As you can see, by the way, I did not use the all parameter. In the I've written the script in a way that if neither of the specific parameters are given, like a group or user or whatever, then automatically all is used. I'll give you a view of the script. Well, this is the help. Most of this, what you see now, is all of the Word file generation stuff written by Ian and by Carl. So for now, I'll go to my stuff. There we go. Script begins. This is a function I included because a fellow MVP, who also was a tester, has an environment where he apparently generated a word table of more than 32,000 items. Oh, by the way, I didn't write this. Somebody else did. He did not want to be named, so yeah, his code name is the Masked Avenger with the Cheetos. Yeah, this basically writing the script and having testers with very different environments has provided me beautiful feedback that I myself would never have found in my demo environment. Because, to be honest, I'm not creating 32,000 users. So, there we go. If you want, I'll post the script in a few minutes on my blog, but if you want, you can basically use these generic functions in one of your own scripts. Copy paste them, I don't mind. If you do, please give me some credits, but yeah, for me, in my experience, using LDAP to query this makes it a lot faster compared to using the Active Directory commandlets. And I'll give you some numbers in what amount it's faster in a few minutes. So let's go to the bottom. There we go. Yep. There we go. Well, for example, over here, what I'm doing is check title, write verbose. I'm telling in the verbose output what title I'm using. I'm generating the table content. If the table content not equals 0, null. So in other words, the check has found something. Do this. Well, if I want to create a CSV file, create a CSV file. The bigger loop around this is if the parameter Word or PDF is used, then they'll start doing this. So always create a Word file. And why we do this is we create a Word file by default. And if you want a PDF file, at the end, we'll make Word save it as a PDF file. So Word for us is the working horse. And in case management is used, add the output to a variable which we'll use later on. This variable, by the way, has a script as the scope of script. So in this entire script, the variable can be used. Okay, so one of the things I found was that if the script has the verbose parameter enabled, which in our case we're doing by default, all the underlying functions, if they have a commandlet binding, will automatically start giving verbose output. Oh, and here the signature. Just to let you know, DigiCert was kind enough to provide me with a code signing certificate, because some companies prefer to have all the scripts run in their environment to be signed by a trusted source. So a friend of mine is working in a company that does not have their own code signing certificates, but their security states that all PowerShell scripts that are executed in production have to be signed. So they actually provide the script to an external company, they sign it and they provide it back. So in this case, it was easier to sign it myself with my personal certificate, which DigiCert was kind enough to provide. So let's go to my blog. And post it. So let's zoom in a little. As you can see, the blog is right now online, so please for a few minutes still be in the session and I'll show you a few things. The following languages are supported. So this is all part of the word generation, word file generation part of the script. Helped a little, but that's mostly not my work. And here they are. Release notes, the signed TXT file, unsigned TXT file. So basically all you have to do right here is download it and rename it to a PS1 file. This one is signed, this one is not. When you want to download this at your work, some companies have a filter in there that will actually start looking at the code inside the text file. And they see, hey, this is scripting code, so we're not going to allow that. That's why I created the zip file. In case this is also not allowed, then maybe you want to download it at home, because these for now are the only two options I'm offering. And I've also created a zip file with all of these documents in there. So back to the slides. Release, well, yeah, on my blog, jeffwouters.com or .nl. What also works is descriptingdutchman.com, but yeah, I don't know if you want to use that. Yeah, right now, as you could see, this is part of my current to-do list. From what I can gather is that like most of these checks I can get through Active Directory by using LDAP. There are a few things that will not be possible, but yeah, I'll encounter them when I encounter them. So what I've learned, commandlets versus LDAP. I've written the script on my first try with half of the checks I currently have in the script I'm releasing. and it took 14 hours to complete at a certain customer. They had a rather large environment. So after that, I decided not to use the commandlets and started writing my own functions that only offered the functionality I needed. By then, it took 2 hours and 45 minutes instead of 14 hours to complete. So this is a humongous difference. So also what I found, for each versus for each object. When designing your scripts, this is something you definitely want to keep in mind, because using for each consumes memory, but it's faster because first you're loading it into memory, and then you're iterating through that array of items one by one from the RAM. And as most people know, RAM is way faster than a disk. This is an oversimplification, by the way. There are scenarios where for each object is faster than for each. I'm working on a blog post for that, but it's quite extensive if you want to really cover it and also explain it simple. So for each object, it consumes less memory, but it's slower. So what I tried was to hit the ultimate sweet spot in the script by combining these two. This is the to-do for my version 2 plus. Depending on how fast I will be able to include the tests in the previous page, I'll get to this. I'm not giving any estimates on when I'll release the next version, because honestly I don't know. So if you have feature requests, if you have something in your Active Directory you've encountered in the past or are currently encountering and you want me to check, basically mail me. Which can be done at contact@jeffwouters.nl or .com. So also for comments or remarks, you can email me, and in general I will respond within a week, depending on where I am in, and if I'll have the availability of email. So, I would like to thank you, and for now that was my session, and I hope you have time to download the script, and let me know what you think.
Hey Jeff, thank you very much, man. That was very good.
Thank you. Were there any questions, actually?
Greg, Adnan, you have any questions? This is the time, or don't speak.
I've dozed them off to sleep.
Nah, just waiting for the time where the kids can be quiet. Jeff, that was pretty straightforward. No questions, and I'm looking to see how best I can utilize the script inside a lab environment to get familiar with it first and foremost,